Happy February 14th, Stitchers. Happy Coffee Stitch Along Day. So, my name's Caroline. Welcome to my channel. I am recording here in London, Ontario, Canada, and I am recording today in the front room of the workshop. This is a room that we reserve for a sort of retail space setup where we keep charts and you know, some new things every 5 or 6 weeks when we host an open house. Other than that, this room is mostly used as a place for storage. So real life here today, you're seeing the workshop, a little corner of the workshop, how we see it every day. So today is the first day. Heartstring Samplery, C is for Coffee, Stitch Along. Today is day 1, and I have shown you, I've got my fabric prepped in my Q-snap. I'm using a Hearthside Craftworks lap frame with Q-snap adapters, brackets, and stabilizer bar. The Hearthside Craftworks floor frame and lap frame, my husband makes these, and I here at Evertote, I sell them. So if you've got any more questions about those, feel free to send me an email or check the drop-down box below, but I won't really be talking much more about that today. It's just the setup that I use. I'm using a 32 count piece of Snickerdoodle linen by Roxy Floss Co. I've got my chart ready to go. Obviously I won't be sharing the chart on camera, and I will be using the Roxy Floss Co. floss pack that we put together here. So I'm going to open that up and take you through the colors. Crinkle, crinkle. I love them so much. So I picked these a while ago, and I've been looking forward to starting this stitch along is an understatement. I love this chart. It's so sweet. Okay, so the colors that I am using, I have done my own conversion. So my red is inappropriate. Then I've got Legendary is going to be my cream white color. Amaretto. Amaretto is going to be the coffee cup. Espresso is going to be the outline of the coffee cup. Actually, I can't remember which way around I did that. No, actually, espresso, I think I'm putting in the cup. And then, that's clearly, I forgot that I had done that purposefully. The espresso is going in the cup. And then the truffle is the outline of the cup. That's right. And then Lawn and Order is my lovely green for the border. So being that today is day 1, I am going to be starting the way that I've divided up now clearly this is a stitch along. There are no rules to stitch alongs. If you are participating in this with me, I'm just happy to have you along. Just thrilled that you're here. If you want to join in with the called for colors, I'll show you the back of the chart here. Here's the called for. We've got Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works. And if you want to start sooner rather than later, you can purchase the PDF directly from Beth Twist's website, which is heartstringsamplery.com. I only carry the physical charts in the shop, but if you want to dig in right away, you can grab a PDF over from there. So my goal is to finish this in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So 4 weeks from today, March 14th, this will be finished. So the way I'm dividing this up is I've plotted out 5 days worth of stitching each week for 4 weeks. So week 1, which starts today, I'm going to be starting on the left-hand side of the border, and throughout the next 5 days, I'm going to work my way up and around this border. Next week, the next 5 days, I'm going to do the same on the right side. Week 3, I'm going to stitch the cup, and week 4, I'm going to do the letters and the steam in the coffee. So that's my plan. And of course, if you want to follow along and have a little bit of a daily stitch with me, then I will be I'm going to record every day. So it's mostly for me, just because it's fun. I like doing it. And I also find it very motivating for my own stitching. When I hosted the Countdown Box Stitch Along in December, doing the daily videos was such a huge motivator for me to do my stitching, and I just found it really enjoyable. So clearly I don't expect you to come and visit me every day, but you know, if you do feel like popping in and having a cup of coffee with me, then stop on by. I thought I would just quickly talk about pattern size for this design. The stitch count is 80 by 80. And if you are using the full kit or the kit that came with linen from Evertote, we sent everybody a piece of linen that was 12 inches wide by 13 inches long. So everybody has the same size piece of linen, but the size of your borders is clearly going to be different. So in order to calculate fabric size, I use an app. Now, it's not called this. It's Stitching the Night Away. I can't remember what it's called. X-Stitch Calc, I think, is actually what the app is called. But just do a search. There's a few of these apps that you can use, and they're pretty accurate. So let's start with 28 count. 28 count fabric, stitching over 2, add 0 border. If we do that, then it says your fabric should be 6 by 6. So what that means is that your design size, your actual stitching, is going to be 6 inches square, even though it's a circle. So on the piece of fabric that you have that's 12 by 13, you've got a 3-inch border on your sides and a 3.5-inch border on your top and bottom. So plenty of space. I've got a 32 count piece of linen in front of me, so I'm just going to quickly check that. It says your fabric should be 5 by 5. So 32, I've got a 4-inch border on my sides and a 4.5-inch border top and bottom, and so on and so forth for all the different counts. It's pretty easy to figure out what you're doing and where you're going. So because I am not starting in the center, I'm going to use my stitching guide. This is one by Blue Ribbon Designs, Stitch Starter. I have had this little piece of plastic for, I don't know, 10 years. I use it all the time. Lots of people offer these, sell these. You can find them. Just search on Etsy for Stitch Starter. I know lots of people do them like a laser cut wood version. They're really handy. So what it does is it helps you measure a 1-inch border, a 2-inch border, and a 3-inch border so that you know where your starting point is. So I'm just going to put a needle there, and like I can clearly see that I have plenty of border around, and I know that design's going to fit in the middle of my piece. I have got 2 needle minders that I'm going to be enjoying while I stitch this project. This is the one that we had made to come with the full kit. It was just a little extra, a little goodie that somebody that Carrie knows, that's his business, and so we had him design the artwork to match the coffee cup on the chart. So that's needle minder number 1, and then needle minder number 2 is this was a gift from Ryan McGuy on YouTube. He gifted that to me at the Stitch North Cross Stitch Retreat last April. So I thought it was appropriate. Coffee, you can sleep when you're dead. I love it. So, so today's stitching, looking at what I have planned to accomplish today, because I'm working on the left side of my border, I am going to be stitching these 2 little holly leaves and berries. I think of them as holly. I'm pretty sure that's holly. I'm calling it holly. So I'm going to be stitching these 2 groups of leaves and berries right here. That's today's job. So I'm going to pause my filming. I'm going to quickly get started, and so I can get a few stitches in, and then I'll record a few more minutes before I say goodbye. Just one more thing I thought I would show you about how I really prefer to stitch. I love paper patterns. They work really well with my eyesight because especially when it's a chart that you have to look up and down quite a bit for counting purposes. I like to put the chart directly on my fabric, and I keep it there with a needle minder. So obviously I'm just covering it up so you can't see the pattern, but that's how I am set up to stitch. So just to show you, I have started my stitching with a waist knot, an away knot. If you have never done one of those before, I have a really easy tutorial video that I'll link in the drop down box below. It's a fantastic way to start a piece that has no other stitching around for you to anchor your floss in at the bottom. So in case you were looking for a different way to start, so you can see there's my little knot there. That's it. So a waist knot or an away knot. And just like that, day one is done. Easy peasy. Just a little tiny bit of stitching every day, and we'll have this chart done in no time at all. So just a word about the chart. Just remember that bottom left corner that I found, just remember that the design is circular, so you're going to be starting in and up from that's your 3-inch border right there, not where the design actually starts. I think that's, you know, I think that makes sense. All right, so time to tidy up and get back to work. Got my glasses off because the glare from the window was pretty bad. You couldn't even see my eyes. So anyways, my coffee is empty. Happy day one of the Off the Grid Needlearts coffee stitch along. We have a hashtag on Instagram, hashtag OTGN Coffee SAL, S-A-L. And yeah, feel free to join us over there, post your progress photos. And I'm also going to be posting my daily progress on my Instagram page, which is at Evertotes. That's my business page. I do have an Instagram account for Off the Grid Needlearts, but it's more, I don't know, I don't really put a lot of my cross stitching there anymore. In fact, I can't remember the last time I posted an actual photo. So at Evertotes is my Instagram page for the workshop, and so I'm going to be posting my daily progress in my stories there, and then I'm going to create a highlight reel so that I can have a collection. Because what I'd love to do is I'd love to have this be a collection of videos that then I can turn into a playlist, so that anyone at any time, if they just, you know, stumble upon this chart as a stitch along and they want to stitch it as well, that they'll have company while they do so. So on that note, day one is done. I'll see you tomorrow for day two. Now clearly it's only a little bit of stitching, so every day. So, you know, these will be short daily videos, but I do also want to share a few other things crafting wise that I've been working on. So it won't just be a daily video about the coffee stitch along. I've got a few other things up my sleeve that I want to be working on over the next month that I'm going to be sharing with you as well. So Luna is ready to go. So am I. Happy day one, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Happy stitching.